Before we get this video started, please make sure to like, favor, and subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications so that way you never miss out on another video. Almost to 500 subscribers, my Gummy Knights. Let's go ahead and make it happen.
You know what, my Gummy Knights? I honestly think that these people just hate me.
Heavy is the hand that wears the crown.
What up, my Gummy Knights? And so we have another one here. So I was looking at this video by Mondo Cool. Now, you guys will remember a video I put out that was kind of like a parody video and stuff. You know, it was based off of me watching another video by a YouTuber named Just a Robot, aka Jar. So it was the whole, what if Goku and Vegeta, you know, were females and stuff like that. And so I'm watching this guy, Mondo Cool, who's also doing a series. I had already watched his Goku was a female, and where I had some problems with that, it doesn't get into stupid land all that much to where I needed to make like a video or something on it. It's only when I'm looking at the Vegeta one, and what is it, SJWs? What is it, feminists? What do you want from me, Jezebel? What do you want from me? Now look, I guess you can try to say he's maybe being sarcastic and maybe he's not a SJW, maybe he's not one of those types of people, right? And sure, that could entirely be the case, right? He does talk a little bit sarcastically as if he wants to not step on anybody's toes, but that kind of leads me into thinking that maybe he is somewhat a part of that crowd, right? The more leftist type of ideology does seem to kind of persuade some of his decisions a little bit here. Looking at him and watching him talk about Vegeta and the stuff that he would change. Now look, fundamentally, if you wanted to change Vegeta, and you want to change Goku into chicks and leave the story the same, there would be fundamental difference with them because men and women are different. There are fundamental changes between men and women that would change the outcomes of their personalities, things of that nature. However, whereas he doesn't do it with Goku, and it's like, whatever, because the way he told the story, like I said, there were some things that didn't make any sense, but at the same time, again, I'm not really getting on him for his opinion and how he's writing the narrative of the story. I'm getting on him for the stupidity that he lays out here in terms of qualifying why the personality shifts in Vegeta are definitely necessary for the story and narrative he is trying to tell. He goes with the whole sexism trope, as if that mattered among the Saiyans. It's like, dude, even from a basic understanding of Saiyan biology and Saiyan knowledge, what was in between your legs
Did not matter to the Saiyan people!
They could give two shits whether you were a chick or a girl. I mean, even other people who do narratives and fan mangas and what ifs have a rudimentary understanding of this. One of my favorite examples I can think of off the top of my head is Dragon Ball Multiverse, where they clearly point out a character who has the ability in order to be able to switch the character's genders. And so this female character switches her gender with Vegeta's, thinking that that would automatically make her weaker because, well, now she's a chick. Vegeta just kicks her ass and then says, switch me back. It didn't do anything. It didn't really alter anything. She was just as strong, just as powerful. Saiyans have never been about that. I mean, most people try to say, if you want to compare them to a type of warrior species that would be more human in origin, they would be comparable to the Spartans and things of that nature. I brought up Dragon Ball Multiverse because often does the whole idea of the Saiyans come into the fan manga. I mean, we even have Queen Hestia. I believe that's how you pronounce her name. I could be absolutely mispronouncing that. The fact is, she's the queen of the Saiyans. She becomes queen of the Saiyans, one of the strongest Saiyans around. This is also pretty much the indication in regards to Dragon Ball. As in, even when they're initially being told the story, even when Goku's being initially told the story by King Kai, you actually see a female Saiyan at the head of a pact here that is attacking somebody. The women are just as barbaric. Sure, they get pregnant and have babies, but that doesn't really change anything fundamentally about them. The Saiyans do not care what is in between your legs. There would be no real sexism and bigotry if Vegeta was born a chick. It wouldn't matter. Again, there are fundamental differences between men and women, so obviously there would be some fundamental difference there. But if you kept Vegeta's potential, his personality, everything the same about him, you just gave him a vagina, nothing all that much would change. Maybe you can say that, oh, like most women do, again, fundamental differences between men and women, if Akira chose to add that into the story, that he'd be a little bit more emotional and irrational in some of his thinking and some of the ways he does anything. However, that wouldn't change the fundamental intelligence that he would have. He'd still be incredibly smart and intelligent, just as he was as a man. It's just that he would be prone to more emotional outbursts and more emotional expressions. And he's already like that, so it would just be turned up a little bit as a female. Not even by that much. It is a well-known fact that females have higher EQ than men. What is EQ? EQ is emotional intelligence. There are several good aspects that come with emotional intelligence. There are actually several good aspects that come with having large amounts of emotional intelligence that, since women do have the highest degree in, often is a benefit. However, this does not make women suddenly second-class citizens or anything like that. So this had nothing to do with sexism. The class system, or the only type of system of belittlement that would befall Vegeta is if he was born, or she in this case, was born a low-class warrior. Again, men and women of the same people are constantly ridiculed and belittled if they are born low-class warriors. That is all the same people care about, whether or not you are among the strong or whether or not you are among the weak. If you are among the weak, you're usually sent off world to go conquer somewhere else. They do this to women too. They value them enough to recognize that they could at least be fodder soldiers for the army or something along the lines of that. Hell, there are meaningless jobs or meaningful, I guess, in the sense that some Saiyans may find it meaningful. But like Gine, take Gine for example. She's a meat cutter, and I believe the guy's name was Beat, right? I'm looking at the Broly movie, which kind of like introduced a lot more of these elements. Beat or whatever. You know, he acknowledged that he was kind of a weak Saiyan and not really a combat class Saiyan. And he ran maintenance and he did the ships. Gine was a meat cutter. So it happens to men and women. But guess what? There are strong women. Like you look at Bardock's original squad. What was her name? Sasha or Fasha. Again, one of the clearest examples of a strong female Saiyan. Hell, even if you want to look at Kel and Khalifa, I mean, I don't want to get into that mess, but technically speaking, yes, you can kind of consider them strong female Saiyans just based off of the power aspect alone. So this is ridiculous to have this broad assumption that it would be sexism and bigotry that Vegeta would, there would be a fundamental change in Vegeta's character to make the personality more bratty and moody and have her, in this case, against men. And that's what Mondo over here is basically saying, and I find it abhorrent. It's retarded. Like, dude, stop trying to play to these SJWs, stop trying to play to these feminists. You clearly either don't have a fundamental understanding of Saiyan culture and things of that nature, basic Saiyan lore. Like, not everything about the Saiyans have been explored, not everything about the Saiyans as well. Not every minute detail about the Saiyans is well known. That is true. However, from a fundamental looking at most of the lore that we do get about the Saiyans, there is clearly not an idea of sexism or racism or anything like that, any stupid human concept that you would try to place on them. So, no, Vegeta would not have this fundamental sudden dislike of men. The quote-unquote prejudice that most likely, again, Vegeta would face as if she was born a low-class warrior. However, if you're keeping everything the same, then Vegeta would not be among that. He was among the elites even as a child. He had exceptional latent potential. He had a very high power level, even in his incubation tube. This was well known that he was a prodigy, and he stood among the elites. So it's then ridiculous for him to make this type of assertion and then place it onto Vegeta and say that, oh, this is why there would be a fundamental change. Like, we have to change a little bit because, oh, prideful and arrogance and yada yada yada, and because he's a woman now, oh, sexism is going to plague him. Bullshit, dude. It's ridiculous.
Ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous.
Because making Vegeta a woman, I mean, you're already appealing to quote-unquote SJWs and feminists, right? Vegeta's one of the strongest characters, not only within Dragon Ball, but in anime fiction as a whole. So if you're not really changing the fundamental story and you're still keeping the strength levels and all that, Vegeta's one of the top tiers. Making him a woman would only be a benefit to those people who, quote-unquote, identify with that nonsense, right? As if that actually matters. It doesn't in the long run, but, go ahead. So you're already, quote-unquote, capitulating somewhat to them. I guess that's probably not the best word to use for it, but other than that, it's just basically ridiculous. And you guys know I usually watch ahead. Again, doesn't talk about it again. Not really anyway, not really explaining away why he thinks that honestly makes sense, that this is something that would plague, right? That out of all the fundamental changes you can finally use with making this character a woman, you suddenly say that sexism and prejudice is really the driving force. It's ridiculous. It's absurd. Anyway, hopefully you guys learned something. Hopefully you guys seem to understand Saiyan lore and that you would possibly agree with me, right? Okay, you don't have to. I'm probably going to get a lot of dislikes. At this point, I really don't care. I'm going to get tons of dislikes, people telling me, oh, you're just a bigot.
You are a bigot.
Clearly Vegeta would face sexism and bigotry for being a vagina over there. Obviously, even though we never really see it inside of Saiyan culture, like, not at all. I mean, the whole idea is, again, it's just a fact at this point. I'm sorry, it's not opinion, it's just a fact. They do not care what's in between your legs. They really don't. That's the last thing on their mind. Are you strong? Can you kick ass? I mean, fundamentally, this is also further proof that when Goku and Vegeta, when they're looking for mates, guess who they look for? They look for the strongest of the women. Strong-willed women who ain't gonna take no shit. They find Chi-Chi and Bulma. It is very much pointed out and explained that Saiyans have an innate attraction to strong individuals. This carries over to when they are looking for mates and things of that nature. But it goes to further my point, the overall point, which is that they don't care what's in between your legs. Are you strong? Can you fight? I mean, it would be set, like, even Vegeta points this out, like, when he's talking about 18 and stuff like that, right? He's like, don't think because you're a woman I'm going to go easy on you. That's actually more respectful to her than if he was to sit there and hold back because, oh, she's a lady. That's more sexist because it's demeaning her level of ability, it's demeaning her power. He's like, no, I'm going all in. I don't care what's in between your legs. That's not what matters to me. Are you strong? Can you fight? That's what matters. It's always mattered in Saiyan culture. Again, and this is a fundamental part of them. You see it like when they're going out for mating and things of that nature. And if you're weak, whether you're male or female, you are considered a low class of society. You are often bullied. You're often ridiculed. There is prejudice against you on that front. That is the system in which you would find your prejudice. Are you strong? If you're not strong,
fuck off.
Anyway, I will catch you guys in the next one. This has got to stop. We have got to stop this nonsense, people. Let it be. Anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Ain't nobody gonna do for you. Pull the trigger.
Maybe you should pull the fucking trigger.
Everything is sexist, everything is racist, everything is homophobic, and you have to point it all out.
Oh my god! No! KO out of nowhere!
Yo, all you sucker MCs ain't got nothing on me. From my grades to my lines, you can't touch Kevin G. I'm a mathlete, the nerd isn't bird, but forget what you heard. I'm like James Bond III, shaking, not stirred. I'm Kevin the Poor. The G is silent when I sneak in your door. Make love to your woman on the bathroom floor. I don't play it like Shaggy, you'll know it was me. Cause the next time you see her, she be like,